Good day, gentlemen of the CEA. We are going to start moving into using Revit, which is our 3D modeling program for architectural design. And we'll spend about a week or so to learn some of the basics of the program, and then we'll do a little bit more of an exploration into the program to get you up to speed and learn how to use it as a tool that architects and engineers often use to design and then manage a project as they work through it. So, our first step as we get involved with Revit is we need to get it connected to your Chromebook. And at Waseca High School, we are fortunate enough to have an amazing tool at our disposal, and my mouse is hovering over it right now. It's called Amazon Web Services, sometimes referred to as AWS. This is a tool that allows us to take a $2,500 program and access it even through a Chromebook. So our first step will be to go ahead and get that loaded or get connected to that on your Chromebook. So as I work through this intro video with you today, you will need to perhaps pause the video from time to time, um, do some action things in this to open that up, and we'll do some work in Google Drive and then go over some basics of the program. That will be our goal today. So to get started, you should have your Chromebook uh, in the class link. So we know how to get there already. You should have that bookmark. That should be how you're always going into everything you do, whether that be your Gmail or Schoology, whatever that might be. You should be very familiar with that by now. Once you're in there, what you need to do is go ahead and click on the Amazon Web Services, and it will take a little bit of time to load this up. Usually, mine loaded up quickly because I was already logged in, but that initial time you log in each day, it takes about 1 to 2 minutes to load up. Think of it as if you walk into my classroom and you turned on the laptop computer, and it takes a minute or two for that to boot up and become ready for you. So as that's loading, you could go ahead and do another task here, and that's to set up a folder in your Google Drive for Revit and actually for CEA and Revit. So I would suggest that what you do is you go to your Google Drive, and if you have not created a CEA folder yet, I would strongly suggest that you, at this point, pause the video, at least when I'm done with instructions. You will pause the video, then you'll create a CEA folder. My suggestion, what I'm asking you to do is go CEA underscore and your last name. I would like you to share that file with me so I can help you with things, so I can share files with you. This will be kind of our working folder for the remainder of our class together. So create a folder, and we know how to do that by now. We'll just go up here to New, Folder, and what I'd like you to do is just call it CA underscore and then put your last name in there. Okay, so create that folder. And once that folder is made, let's go ahead and open that up. And let's make another new folder inside of that. So we can go new again, folder, and let's call it Revit Shed. Revit Shed. We'll create another folder for a house that we'll do, another folder for a library or a commercial building we're going to do. So just call this one Revit Shed. And now you should have a folder inside of your CEA folder called Revit Shed. Okay, that's as much as we need to do for now. We're going to jump back into AWS, and we'll get you lined up with the streaming service to know how to work with Revit. So hopefully by now you have paused the video. You have gotten your Google Drive all set up with appropriate folders. And now we're ready to jump into Revit. To do so, you'll see all the icons here. Hopefully Amazon Web App Stream or Web Service, whatever is loaded for you. We just click on Revit 2021. fun to note, and this is where maybe it takes a little bit of time. I probably should have done this before, but notice it's about 2 minutes to load that up. Notice that what we're working with is Revit 2021. We have basically current models of it, state-of-the-art models, so we aren't working with old uh, information technology, but we're working with brand new stuff that actually a lot of companies use Revit in the design world for architecture and civil engineering. So as this is loading, just like to bring that up that we're teaching you stuff that you're going to use out in the field if you decide to go into something with construction management, architecture, civil engineering. A lot of similarities as far as this goes. They've made some nice changes each year on this. I think I've been working with Revit for I think about 6 or 7 years now, and they make some nice changes every year. Uh, so it kind of helps us stay abreast on the newest technology that's out there. So once this loads up, and here it comes, it's loading up for us. We'll start talking you through a few of the different elements inside of Revit that will get you set and ready to work with this in the upcoming activity. So as it's loading up, again, you can access this from your Chromebook. If you would prefer to use it on a laptop, you can. If you have a desktop computer at home, if you want to have a little bit bigger screen, I think I've mentioned to a couple of you, if you've got a monitor of some sort at home, you can um, cast your image to. You can cast this to a screen. I've done this at home with my Chromebook. I've cast it to my. I have a 65-inch TV in my family room, so I cast it to that. So it makes it you've got a bigger screen. One really important element is that you will need a mouse. Whether you have a mouse you borrow from a computer at home, or whether you run out to Walmart and grab a $10 wireless mouse, one way or another, you'll need to have a mouse. And I think most of you have done a little bit of work with CAD programs in the past that you probably understand the necessity of a mouse as we work within a program like this. So looks like we're just about there. Revit is loading up for us, and I think you'll find some similarities if you've worked with Autodesk Inventor, which I think all of you have. That you'll see some similarities in that as we're working along. So as we get in here, you'll see a file like this. One of the first things we want to do is make sure we're linked into your Google Drive. So you can simply go up here. I think mine is already completed because I already am linked into it, but I believe it's right up in here that you have to link this to your Google Drive. If I go right here, go to My Files, and you'll see Google Drive is right there. If I go ahead and click on My Drive, we'll go ahead and find that CEA folder that we just made. And there is CEA Cushel. There's the one we just made. And there's my Revit shed file. So there's nothing in there right now, obviously, because we haven't drawn anything yet. But that I want you to link this to your Google Drive, and that'll be kind of the beauty of this. Now it's going to be pretty portable. You can use this wherever you are. We can still force it to save elsewhere, download it to your device, then save it to a flash drive if you'd like to do that. I think it's going to work best just working from the Google Drive. Then whether you're on a device like a Chromebook or a computer, you have access to it. All right, so as we get into Revit, a couple of the basics here. This is kind of our home screen, if you will. I'm going to enlarge my screen. If you look up at the top here, I've got this double arrow thing going on. Allow that to enter into full screen. If you click on that, that should get us into full screen, so you have a little more real estate to work with. It's like we're not quite there yet, so I'm going to click those buttons a couple times. Now I'm full screen. I want to have all of this to work with. And then you see some files here, some existing files. If you want to work with, you can go in there. I will. I'll open this one up. It's what you'll be working with to draw on this first activity. It's basically a backyard shed. I believe it's 12 by 16 is the size of it. We'll put siding and roof and everything on. So I've done some basic work on this so far, and then you'll make this shed and put roof, floor, doors, windows, the whole whole gamut of things you'll add to this. So a couple of things once we're inside of Revit that you'll work with. Um, we have two areas we deal with it quite a bit. One is called the project browser, and perhaps you remember a browser over here in Inventor, so similar to that. Then we have a properties palette, is what we call this top portion. So this is one portion of this window on the side, and that's called the properties palette. And then this one is our browser, kind of shows the different models, segments that we're working on. A lot of this is pre-populated, if you will, as you start opening up templates. One of the big differences in Revit compared to Inventor that it is highly template driven. For example, if we want to draw a wall, our ribbon, which we hopefully are familiar with from previous programs, I want to draw a wall. I can pick on the wall tool, and then there are some walls down here. We have little drop down menus that allows us to pick from several different wall types. It could be as simple as a generic wall. I'm pick a generic 8-inch wall, and I should be in what we call our ground floor, our first floor. So I'm looking at a two-dimensional area. Now here's that shed I had on my screen. I'm going to draw some walls around it. The default, if you start drawing a wall, is they're going to be pretty tall. And I'm going to just show something here. Let's see. Oh, we're going to just draw a wall. Now, basically what it amounts to is I take my cursor out here and I click and I drag. And notice how the sizes are getting bigger as they go. You can key things in. If I want to make that a 10-foot wall, I just go to my keypad, type in 10, enter. I've got a 10-foot long wall. I can come straight down. It'll lock into a 90 degree. And if I want that to be a 20-foot wall, I type in 20 and swing that over here. It kind of gave you the suggested distance as well. I can swing that up here. And just like that, I've got that done. When you're done, much like Inventor, right click is our best friend. Right click, and we're going to go ahead and cancel. That turns the tool off. That's probably your easiest bet. As we work in Revit, we like to go to bounce in and out of the 3D view. So if you remember our days from Inventor, we had a quick access toolbar at the very top. And there's one that looks like a house. And that basically puts us in 3D mode. I'm going to zoom out a bit so I can find that wall I just drew. Right there it is. So I can drag this down on my screen. Let's see. Can I move that guy? I'm going to look at my top view, home view. Yeah. Let's see if it lets me drag that down. They've had some changes in the program this year that are making it kind of interesting from past versions that I'm trying to get used to myself. But we can look at our model here a bit, and we're going to just hit modify. That's another way of turning off the drawing tools that you have on your screen. I believe there are some tools down here. We want to zoom in, zoom out. If I can pan, that's what I'm looking for. It's not going to let me do that. Let's see. Finding some limitations here that I don't always care for. I used to be able to push middle mouse button and shift, and I could pan this guy, and it's not letting me do that anymore. So we may have to figure out some new ways to work with panning. See if we can figure out something here. There was pan. So I just use that tool, then I can drag that down my screen. I can orbit it, things like that. So yeah, we can use pan right there. And just a matter of dragging that on my screen. So rather than the middle mouse button and shift, we'll use this menu on the side here. We can center that on our screen, I believe is the plan. We can orbit, which we've done before by rotating it. I don't know if we do that so much in Revit as we did in Inventor. If we want to zoom in and out, we can just use our mouse for that. But the big thing is pan. Make sure that that's selected, and then we'll just drag our image across the screen. We'll do that quite a bit to move within the model. So just a couple tips on drawing there. The tutorial that we'll use to draw this shed is very detailed. It will walk you through how to draw your first models and so on. When you're done with this one, what I would simply do is I would go up to File, and I'm going to go Save As because I want to put this in my the new folder I just made. We always save it as a project. If it ever asks you, we always save it as a project. And that should give me the option of saving then to my Revit shed. No, I want to change this. I want to go up a level. So I want to find my CEA Cushel file. So let's see. Let it do its work here. There's CEA Cushel. So notice how we're linked to our Google Drive. Makes life a little easier. And we'll go ahead and save that. And now that little piece is saved in our Google Drive. So I would encourage you to take some time today as far as getting logged into this the first time. And when we come back to class then on on Tuesday, we'll start working with drawing the shed. We'll go over the basic setup with you, but just an overview of Revit to get started, and then we'll move forward with that, and we'll work a little further on our shed together to get started, and then we'll work on that with the video guidance. So hopefully that finds you well, and that's your intro to Revit, and we'll see you soon. See you guys.